Well, if you got a dollar, well, just lousy down. You know that I got rhythm that could suit your budget fine.
So this is a different look. You're not seeing Trusty. And that is because Trusty is behind the camera for a change and showing off his first oil painting. That's right, this fine lady came home with Trusty after a road trip to upstate New York at a small estate sale near Erie, Pennsylvania. And yeah, I picked it up. So we're gonna do a little bit of exploration of the oil painting. It is a fairly decent size. Based on the clothing, we've determined that this is probably somewhere around Civil War, if not pre-Civil War era. Absolutely open and welcome to comments from those who are fashion historians. But it has been in the frame for quite some time and has not been taken out of the frame. So we're gonna do a little bit of looking and see if we can find anything else out about this portrait. So you can see she's in an oval frame, but the canvas itself is actually rectangular. So we will spin this around and show a little bit on the back. So the back, it definitely has some age. The wood itself is held together by little pressure stretchers where when they were put together, they then wedged these pieces of wood to kind of press them out. I know nothing about oil paintings really in general, and certainly nothing about how stretchers and things were made. One of the things which I thought was odd, but could again be common, I always had heard the term of the canvas is stretched. I always thought it was wrapped around the wood. This one you can see stops. It just was nailed at the edge. The nails seem to be old. Since I actually can't see the camera right now, I'm not sure if this is picking up. So everything appears that is genuine of age. The canvas appears to have some age. It's not in the frame very well. There's only 2 nails holding it into the frame. One I pulled out with my bare hands, and so it's barely in here, and the other nail is right here. And I do want to take this out of the frame because I do want to see if the oil painting has a signature on it. So I'm going to grab, hopefully a pair of pliers will do this, and I'm going to try and do this on screen. So luckily it was pretty loosely in there like the other one. So that was the only thing holding it in. The wire, let's see, how am I going to do this? I think I can lift this out without the wire bothering it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do this the other way. Put this on the floor. And she has come out of her frame. So quite a bit of damage was behind the frame. The bottom of the frame, you probably couldn't really tell, had some water damage. I think at one point it was sitting again in water. And so it looks like some of it did flake off some of the paint on the very bottom. There also appears to be paint loss or transfer. There's some ochre color. So it looks like the oval does appear to be painted that way. So I'm thinking that this was always designed to go into that frame, which I had not initially considered. I assumed it was painted the whole way, but you can see there are actually brush strokes here, and you can also see some varnish. So either it was done later or it was done at the time. There's a brush stroke here of the paint, and you can see there's a slight difference of the varnish where the painting was showing versus not showing. Quite a bit of paint loss around the edges. But most of the image is still in pretty good condition. I could see a couple of the places, like right where that oval was, where it was rubbing. There's a little bit of paint loss, but again, not a huge amount. But unfortunately, it does not appear to have a signature. So no signature on the front, no signature on the back. They didn't really know much about her. They said they believed she came from New Hampshire, but there's no specific evidence for that. There is something going on here. I just noticed she does still have quite a bit of her shawl has been painted, so you can see this line. That's where the frame ended. So it did paint beyond that. This one, on this side, the shawl has a dark covering over it that's not matched on this side. I hadn't noticed that before, so I'm not sure if that's something that was done on purpose. Doesn't look like any paint loss, so I don't know, it did something, but it looks like her shoulder, I guess her shoulder seems to drop off more precipitously there than it does over here. And maybe that's by design, I do not know. But beautiful garnet brooch with either pearls, possibly rose-cut diamonds around it. When I looked up what little I could on the fashion, they said that these long ribbons were in the style of around the 1850s. The sloped shoulder was also a style around the 1850s. There's the bonnet on her hair with the flowers on the inside, again around the 1850s going into 1860s. And it looks like she has ringlets in her hair, which is also early Victorian era. So that's what we have. I'm thrilled to have her, and once I get her hung, I'll show where she's gonna hang out. Got to figure out how to better attach her to the frame so that it doesn't tear the canvas. But wanted to show Trusty's first oil painting. Thanks for joining me. And there she is, a lady from New Hampshire taking up residence with Trusty. What will the neighbors think?
Well, show me a sign if you're wishing me to stay. Otherwise, I say goodbye and finish out the day. When that sunrise in the morning and you got nothing to say, oh, that's when I'll be headed on my way.